It is an exciting one. Oh my god, it is official. The photo shoot is booked. Oh, it's official, right? Like, I think having that goal now to work towards is going to be super, super, like, exciting because you're so locked into it now. And I know it's always been in the back of our minds, but now that it's actually real, it's going to just feel different. Like, it just feels different. Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a lovely week. You are joining me on Wednesday, I think it's the 14th of January, 7 days till my birthday, 6 days till my birthday, but who's counting? Oh yeah, I'm counting. But I am just picking up my camera today to film a couple of days in the life. You guys know the drill. We are now, I think, 6 weeks into prep. Cannot believe it. I checked in this morning. You guys would have saw, sent my pictures over to Emma, got my feedback, and yeah, still no changes. The body is responding really, really well. Cannot complain. And I feel like, sometimes I feel like these videos and stuff are boring because I'm like, yeah, nothing has changed again, but I also just want to show exactly what I'm doing. Like, there's no point in me lying and making things up for the fun of it. Like, if your body is responding to a diet and, you know, your coaches are making changes, it's a good thing. So yeah, I suppose I just want to be like honest about kind of what's happening in my journey. And yeah, the last 6 weeks have been the literal same thing, day in and day out, but it's working. So why change it? But I went to the gym this morning and trained legs, which I'm going to insert the footage of that after this little clip with a bit of a voice note kind of running through my session because I haven't done that yet. And yeah, just to kind of chat you guys through how I'm currently training, a couple of the exercises I'm doing. And yeah, because obviously, like, I'm a bikini girl, right? I am trying to bias my glutes in most of my leg sessions. Yeah, to be honest, it's all glute and hamstring. Like, primarily glutes. I hit glutes 3 times a week. So I have 2 full leg sessions and I have 1 posterior session where I hit a little bit of glute in there. So safe to say, I've had to really learn how to connect with my glutes and how to train glutes as accurately as I can. So hopefully you guys find that interesting, and a couple of tips, and you guys pick up a couple of tips along the way. But yeah, obviously this morning I woke up, done my work, done my Wednesday check-ins. So check-ins are all done for the week. Got my session in, done most of my steps. I'm on like 9,000 steps now already, which I'm so happy about. I'm happy I got them done this morning because it's now starting to rain like quite heavily. So I'll do the rest on the walking pad. But yeah, other than that, it's been a pretty good week since the last time I was chatting to you guys. We are not hormonal anymore. We're back vibing. I feel like in last week's video I was a little bit down because I was on my period and I was on a deload, whereas now your gal is feeling so much better. So I just had my post-workout meal, which is my oats, and yeah, I'll pick you guys up if anything else interesting happens. But make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, because I'm literally nearly on 100 subscribers. Like, I think I'm on 98 while recording this video. So hopefully by the time this video comes out, I've already hit 100, which is so funny. Like, it's such a small number for the majority of people, but for me, like 100 people, like, pressing a subscribe button to my bloody channel, like, it's surreal. Like, 100 people in a room is a lot of people. So thank you all to whoever has subscribed so far. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe to make me a happy girl, okay? It's my birthday next week. It's the least that you can do. But I will pick you guys up later on if anything interesting happens. But for now, enjoy my glute session, and yeah, hopefully you guys learn some tips on how to grow your goddamn glutes in 2026. Okay guys, so welcome to my glute session for today. I thought it would be a nice idea to record my session and do a voiceover over top, just talking about the session, talking about the exercises, talking about my approach to training as well, because obviously when you're training to fit a bodybuilding like category or class, your training has to be specific towards that. So obviously I would have been telling you guys that I have been training a lot of glutes over the course of, honestly, the last 1.5 to 2 years now, since I decided to do bikini. And yeah, I just wanted to just kind of tell you guys how I've been kind of splitting that up throughout the week, how I bias my glutes in certain exercises, and yeah, what my training kind of looks like. So as you can see, I started with just a quick walk on the treadmill. I usually walk for like 10 to 15 minutes just to warm up. My first exercise of this session was the lying hamstring curl. My gym actually got a brand new lying hamstring curl, so this is actually my first time using this one, and it felt really, really nice. So key things I like to think about here is really driving my hips into the pad. I almost like to imagine like I've been glued to the seat, or like to that lying pad, so my body is not moving. And we're always thinking about initiating this movement with our heels and thinking about dragging your heels up till a 90-degree angle at the knee, and then controlling that lengthening portion of the movement as well. Now obviously this isn't a glute exercise, it's a hamstring exercise, but I really do like isolating my hamstrings at the start of my session as like that kind of warm-up exercise. As you can see then, I'm moving into a glute drive. I've been going to this gym now for months, and I've just started using this this glute drive that they have. I absolutely love it. Like, it feels so good. I actually can't remember the brand, and I wanted to take mental note of that to tell you guys, but honestly, it's a machine that I did not think I would like, and I have been loving it. It feels really nice. Usually I don't like glute drives that only have weight on one side, but this one is really nice. And I suppose one thing I do want to talk about is like hip thrusts in general, and I think there's a lot of like stigma on glute drive machines, and people say, oh, the best way to like hip thrust is with a barbell, and I mean sure, but I haven't done barbell hip thrusts my entire time of building my glutes over the last 2 years. I've always done either a Smith machine hip thrust or a glute drive machine. I just find them really stable, and it really just helps me not have to worry about anything else when I'm doing the movement. Like, I'm not worrying about trying to stabilize a barbell. I'm literally just thinking about contracting my glutes at the top and actually performing the exercise correctly. So I had 2 sets of this exercise. Most of my sessions, it's literally 2 sets per exercise, maximum 3 maybe on things like lateral raises, bicep curls, stuff like that. Really like low impact kind of isolations. I tend to do a little bit more volume, but my whole approach to training is I want to make my exercises as efficient as I can. And if I'm there having to do 3, 4, 5 sets per exercise, there's no way I can keep that same intensity for every single set. So it's always, guys, quality over quantity. And I often get questions when it comes to doing a hip thrust or a glute drive on like, Zoe, I'm feeling my quads or I'm feeling my hamstrings. Like, how do I just like only feel my glutes? So with this, we need to make sure that we have a 90-degree angle at the knee, and you should be able to draw a line from your ankle up to your knee. Like, it should be a straight line. And then also we really just want to think about having our feet facing forward and really pressing your feet into the floor or the platform to be able to literally produce as much force through your feet as possible. I mentally like to think about coming onto my heels as I come down and then pressing into my toes as I'm squeezing at the top. And guys, that squeeze at the top is crucial. Squeeze like your life literally depends on it. Then we can see here I'm moving into my cable step ups. Guys, this is my favorite exercise of all time. Literally of all time. I love it, and I've never had an exercise that I connect so well with my glutes as much as this one. Like, all I feel when I do this exercise is my glutes, and the burn is insane. Like, I trained this session yesterday, and I'm recording this voiceover the next day, and my glutes are still sore, and I know it's from this. Like, it just feels so good. It took me a while to get these right, and actually when we made this program at the very beginning of like this building block, I had suggested to Emma to put these in because I just really wanted to try them, and I'd seen a few people do them, and I tried them, and I was like, yeah, I made a good decision with this one. I absolutely love these. Okay, so I suppose the first thing I want to talk about with these is the actual setup. So I like to stand on a bench, but as you're going to see, I'm not actually standing on the bench. I have a plate on top of it. The reason for this is because the bench, like, actual surface is soft and spongy, and I want to make sure that I actually have a hard surface to, like, press my foot into. So that's the reasoning behind that. You're also going to notice here, I'm using straps. I'm strapping myself into the cable, well, into the D handle. You can do this with dumbbells or cable. I way prefer cable. It just, like, keeps way more tension on the glutes, but strap in. Like, at the end of the day, we're trying to isolate our glutes. We want to minimize the amount of other muscles that we use. So using things like straps for movements like this, or things like your RDLs, anything that requires you actually holding on to a weight, you want to take away the risk of you, like, using upper body. So that's why I'm using straps for this. And I like to think about sitting back into my glute. I'm not thinking about sitting down at all. I'm thinking about sitting back. And I almost like to imagine, like, when I'm holding onto the cable with my other arm, like, yeah, I'm kind of sitting back, and, like, I almost, like, if I wasn't holding onto the cable, I would fall, if that makes sense. Like, that's how much I'm, like, sitting back into that glute. And as you can see, my back leg barely touches the floor. Like, I'm not letting that back leg assist me at all. The entire focus is on my working leg and pressing up through that side. And girls, if you do try this, please let me know, and let me know what you think of it, because they have changed the absolute game for me. Next up, we had a RDL on the Smith machine. Now, this isn't my usual exercise. I would usually do a B stance RDL here, but there was a guy using the weight of dumbbells that I needed, and and he was, like, taking so long, so I honestly could not be bothered waiting. I had places to be, I had shit to do, so I was like, you know what, I'd done these before in a session and I really enjoyed them. I got a really good glute connection, a glute pump, so I was like, you know what, I'm not wasting time, let's go for the Smith machine and get a RDL variation in. And I think one thing that I have definitely matured on as well is just, like, not freaking out over little things like that. Like, usually in the past, I would have let something like that, like, ruin my entire session, when in reality, it's not a big deal. I'm still getting, like, a hip hinge variation in. It's just a little bit different, and I've replaced it with an exercise that still feels really good. Like, at the end of the day, you can overcomplicate things so much to the point where you just drive yourself insane, when in reality, if you do exercises that you connect well with, you enjoy your sessions, and you train hard, like, you're going to make progress. So the fact I had to do a different variation of a hip hinge, it's not the end of the world. These did feel really good. Do I still prefer a B stance RDL? Sure. Like, yeah, obviously it's unilateral. Obviously it's a different type of movement when it comes to that kind of hip hinge type of exercise, but this was fine. I got a good pump, which is the main thing. And with hip hinge exercises, so any type of RDL movement, we're always thinking about hips to the back wall of the gym. Finishing off the session here, I did some lateral raises. I pretty much have lateral raises, I think 3 to 4 times a week at the end of my sessions. Again, bikini is a lot of glutes, but it also is a lot of delts. So for bikini, judges are looking for nice rounded capped delts, a nice tiny waist, and then obviously big glutes. But the thing is with bikini, it's balance, okay? You can't have overpowering glutes either. Like, you have to have that nice balance that they're looking for. So I definitely have brought up my upper body a lot. Like, I don't just train glutes, guys. Like, I still train upper body, 2 full upper body sessions, and then I tag delts onto the end of my leg sessions as well. So, like, I'm definitely still training a lot of upper body, but just a little bit more direct volume to my glutes for this training block. I then finished off my session with some posing. This is actually the first time I posed on the gym floor. Usually I pose, like, upstairs, but I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna be on stage, I may as well get used to posing with people around. And guess what? Nobody cared. You're not that important. The reason I'm actually including this is not because I think my posing is fantastic, because it's definitely not, but the reason I'm including it is because I just want to show you that not one person looked at me while I was doing this. One thing I get asked about was a lot is, like, gym confidence. How do you minimize gym anxiety? You just have to do it, and I think you just have to get out of your own head and realize that everyone is too busy worried about themselves to worry about you. Like,
nobody cares. Like, did people glance at me? Yeah, probably. Like, they probably glanced, let's be real, but they carried on with their day. Like, they weren't going home and thinking about the girl who wore heels in the gym. Like, nobody cares that much. So you just have to put yourself in these uncomfortable situations in order to like grow from them and move past them. And now that I've done that once, like, I know I'm actually excited for the next time of doing it, you know? And like every time you do something, it gets easier.
Okay guys, so hopefully you enjoyed my video montage. I honestly was freaking out because I thought doing a voiceover was going to be really difficult. Also, what the fuck is that? My hair, like, I got my hair cut a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know if I like how short it is, to be honest. I'm used to having really long hair, and like it's not like long enough to put in a plait right now. Anyway, what I was saying was I thought doing a voiceover was going to be harder than what it was, but it was actually very easy. Funnily enough, I thought YouTube was going to be harder, but it is very straightforward. Like, the editing software is, the one I use is like really easy to use. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoy that. I definitely want to do more of those. I actually really enjoy doing that. So let me know if you enjoy that style, or do you guys rather just like a little bit of training with like music on top? Personally, I feel like I would prefer watching actual voiceover because it's a little bit more informative, but either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I just want to like sit down and like round up a couple of the other things that I have been doing in order to grow my physique, grow my glutes, grow my delts, like grow into that bikini class. So I have been working towards that and like training this way now for like 2 years, and I just want to clarify, just because I'm now in prep doesn't mean my training is going to change. Nothing about my training is going to change because I'm in prep. I'm still going to be doing the same sessions at the same intensity. The goal of a prep and the goal of any fat loss phase should be retention of muscle mass. Like, you want to keep the muscle that you spent time building. And if you let yourself get in your head and you start thinking about, oh, but I'm eating less, I've less energy, I'm maybe not sleeping as well at the back end of a diet or a prep, you're only going to like let that creep in on you on the gym floor. And it going to be a case, it's always mind over matter. Like, you have to have the ability to continue to show up. And that's why training at the back end of a bodybuilding prep or a photo shoot prep can feel like a bit of a chore, because you're going in and you're training just as hard as you were in your building phase, and it's harder. You've less energy, you're a smaller human, and that's why preps are hard. Like, it's not meant to be easy. So you will see me training the same. I'm going to keep my strength. Like, I'm literally, like, I'm talking it into existence. Like, I don't want to get weaker. Like, I mean, come on, probably at the back end of prep I will, but for 80 to 90% of my prep, like, I'm going in with the goal of progressing my exercises, training just as hard. Like, even if I am more tired, even if I did wake up to a new low, like, that should be the goal, is retention of muscle. Because what built the muscle is going to keep the muscle. And if you're have that ability to push yourself in a building phase, you have to be able to copy and paste that into like a fat loss scenario. So yeah, and obviously the reason I have when you see me on stage ultimately, and you see me at the end of this prep, you're going to be looking at maybe the muscle that I have. Hopefully I have some to fucking reveal, but you're going to be looking at the muscle that I have, right? That isn't built in prep. That was built when I was fluffier. That was built when I was putting the work on the gym floor for months after eating in a surplus, well, while eating in a surplus. So yeah, I think another thing is, like, bodies aren't built in the prep, they're just revealed, you know? So if you're someone who wants to make improvements to your physique and you want to grow your glutes, you're going to have to do that in a environment that supports muscle growth. So in a building phase, 4 months, eating in a surplus, getting heavier, doing heavy sets in the gym, pushing yourself hard. Guys, building muscle isn't easy. Like, I said this before, but I'm going to keep saying it. It's not meant to be easy. It should be really, really hard. And like, it's an accumulation then of all of those sessions that stimulate muscle growth. That's obviously one thing I did want to touch upon, is like, you know, how you're going to see me looking now in this prep has nothing to do with this prep really. Like, this prep is me just getting leaner and revealing the muscle that I have already built over the last 2, 3, 4 years, you know? So yeah, when it comes to muscle growth, It's all about what you're doing in an environment that will support it, which is going to be your building phases. So don't skip those, okay? They are crucial. And yeah, I'm so happy to be in a position where I can confidently say, like, I feel like I look relatively bikini now, after like specifically working towards that. So I'm excited. It's going to be really exciting to see how I look when I do get leaner. Speaking of which, I woke up to a mad new low this morning. So 66.1, which is kind of wild. Like, guys, the lightest I've ever gotten was in my photo shoot prep diet, where I was 62 kilos. My pre-prep diet last year, I think I got to like 62.5, and I'm now 66, like, and I'm only 6 weeks into this prep, so I have a feeling it's going to be a smooth ride for me. Like, my body is literally responding super well, which is kind of like, you know, people might look at me and be like, oh, like, why did you start prep so early? Because I didn't know my body was going to respond this well, you know, and I'd rather have too much time than too little time. So yeah, it's not something I'm worried about. Like, Emma will know how to coach me through it. And I know myself, it's just going to make for an easier prep now that we do have that extra time. So yeah, there are the updates, guys. It's currently Friday afternoon. Tomorrow is going to be a chill day, and Sunday I'm actually training with my client Nia. I'm actually taking her through a leg session on Sunday, so that will be exciting. I'm going to record that one for Instagram, so you guys will see that there. But other than that, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your week. Thank you so much for tuning into another video on my channel. I appreciate it so much. If you have any like requests or any videos that you want me to film, or like any topics you want me to talk about in particular, you can either drop them in the comments, you can message me on Instagram. Make sure you're following me on Instagram, Zoe_excellence coaching, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.